Hi y'all, I'm Karen from Chicks Quilting here in Ganado, Texas, and I'm here to talk to you about using an envelope back for a pillow. Well, when I make a quilt, I usually have scraps. I have some extra squares left from the charm pack. I mean, what can I do with this? Well, you can accent that quilt by making a pillow. Think about the quilt might be on the couch or the recliner. Make you a couple pillows that go with that. The other day I had someone come in the shop and say, I want to make a pillow, but I just do not know how to put zippers in, which is another tutorial. But I told them, well, let's put an envelope back on it. And they thought, I don't even know they knew what I was saying. But here's an envelope back. An envelope back, think about an envelope and how you can open it up, put your letter in, and then you don't have to seal it. You can just stick it down. Well, that's kind of the same concept with the envelope back of a pillow. And what we did with this one is we had some extra squares left from our charm pack. And remember, a charm pack has 42 5-inch squares in it. So we just put 9 squares, and I had a pillow form. So you can buy them or you can make your own pillow. Oh, sorry, that's another tutorial. But right now, I'm going to take this off and see how easy it is to get off. And our pillow was a little bit bigger than our case that we made, but that makes it fluffy. And so we're going to set that over there, and we're going to use that in a minute. So, y'all, this is very easy. What I did is I used some this charm pack that we have here at the shop, Sorore, is that? Yes, by Mara Penny, and there's 42-inch squares in there. So here is our pillow front. Now we need to make the pillow back. You don't have to go, just decide how big you want your pillow. Mine is 14 by 14. So my back, I cut 14 inches by add 6 inches to whatever your square is going to be. So I made a strip 14 by, it's only math, Karen, 14 by 20. Yes. So now all I'm going to do is cut that in half. I'm going to go ahead and cut it real quick. I just have a little mat over here. So I put pins in here so I could mark kind of where I was going to cut. Use my Martelli cutter and my quick trim ruler. And I got a little crooked. That's all right. So now all I'm going to do is turn both sides a 1/2 inch and then a 1/2 inch. So we're going to hide the raw edges. Let me go ahead and iron that real quick. Today I'm just going to eyeball it. And if you're used to turning under things, you could even do it without pressing, but I think it looks so much nicer being pressed. And like I said, you could go ahead and measure that, but there's no reason for that. Not for my purposes here. And I just kind of rolled it under. Now what I'm going to do is just go to the sewing machine and I'm going to stitch one side, quarter. It can be a 1/4 inch. I just make it look nice on one side. You can do this. I've had people ask me how to make a memory pillow. You can turn anything into a pillow and put the envelope back. Just remember that the back side of it needs to be cut. You could even get away with cutting it 4 inches longer, but I go ahead and do 6 inches, especially if, and you'll see why in a minute, because our pillow is fluffy. Especially if it's a fluffy pillow, because then it is overlapped and it won't gap on the back side. Hopefully they can hear me while I'm sewing. Okay, and Autumn, you're gonna want them to see this.
Okay. Want me to show them the seam?
Oh, sure. Let's look at the seam. And it's not perfect, but it's pretty. So now I'm going to go ahead and lay the front of my pillow. It could be a block. It could be the squares I did. It could be somebody's dress that you turned into a pillow top. We're going to do right sides together. I'm going to go ahead and make sure, because don't ask me how I know. Put right side of, line up one of those sides, and your finished seam, your pretty seam, is going to be towards the middle. So I lined up my right side first. Doesn't matter if you line up your right or your left. Now I want to make sure I have my pretty sides together, my finished seam in the middle, and I'm going to line that up the best I can. Now I go ahead and pin where we have it overlapping, because I want to make sure that I sew without anything getting stuck underneath my seams. I'm also going to stick a pin in the middle so that flap doesn't have the opportunity to possibly flap over and get in a seam. Then I'm going to come here on the bottom, and I'm going to, again, pin where it overlaps. Now you can pin all the way around, or if you choose to use clips, if you feel comfortable, and I just do a 1/4 inch seam all the way around. I went ahead and did the 1/4 inch seam all the way around. And look, I still have my pin stuck in the middle. So I took that out. Now, all you're going to do is turn it right sides out. We can stay right here. I brought the package of one of my, we should call this few of my favorite things, tools, but this is a point-to-point turner, and I just call it the poker outer. Y'all, this is good to have in your little toolbox. So I'm going to go ahead and turn these all the way around. And then with my point-to-point turner, I can go ahead and get my points stuck out. Y'all, this didn't even take us 10 minutes. And you might even have a couple blocks that you you have extra from your project. And what a cute way to accessorize your area of where you're going to put that quilt or any other project that you do. Now, I'm just going to remind you, our pillow form is a little bit bigger for this, I think. But that makes it nice and fluffy. And I'm going to show you why I like to do the 6 extra inches in just a second. I think you could get by with 4 extra inches, but I always like the 6. And then you get that pillow stuck in there. And we have this entire line of this soiree. It reminds me of summer at the beach or a birthday cake. Now I want you to look at the back because, and I work a little bit hard to get that pillow in there, but because my pillow is a little fluffier than if it was the right size for the pillowcase, it gaps a little bit. But because I did that 6 extra inches, so you have 3 inches that stick in there, then it doesn't show the pillow. So that's just my rule of thumb. But I tell you what, y'all, easy project, and this is a great beginner project too. And you don't have to, you can just have you 2 separate pieces of material. And a pillow size, this size, half a yard would do it. So it's just math again, Karen. But thank you for joining us today with tips, tricks from 2 Chicks, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.